afternoon, everyone. On this joyful afternoon of the Orientation Day, I extend a warm welcome to all the parents of Class 5 students for the new session 2023-24. It's a pleasure to have amongst us our guiding light and driving force of the Smart Convent School, our principal ma'am, Ms. Poonamji Kaur, respected head of the junior wing, Ms. Sarika Sharma, who's a guide and mentor for all of us, our teachers who are very diligent and hardworking, and of course all the students who seem to be very excited going to the next class. So I welcome you all for the orientation program. So let's begin the program with a lamp lighting ceremony. Lighting lamp is so auspicious, so what good than lighting the lamp? I invite Principal Ma'am and Sarika Ma'am to do the honors. I also request Mandeep Singh Walia, parent of Sahajpreet, Class 5B, to join. Lighting of lamp removes darkness, ignorance and happiness, spreading the Almighty's grace and divine energy in the surroundings. What is going to happen, what teacher my child will get, what class he is going to move and how he is going to go up. But I think we must remember that life brings many seasons and change happens for a reason. A season ends and a new one begins. Let's not lose our smile or grin. Our future holds new wondrous signs, new goals to set to reach new heights. Though it may not feel familiar at the start, new beginnings give us an opportunity to restart. So with this thought in mind and prayer on our lips, let's begin the new session. So as I begin my presentation, I take this opportunity to thank all the parents for trusting us with your child's education and having faith in Smart Convent. So I'll begin my presentation by introducing you to the leaders, our esteemed leaders, our Director Sir, Mr. Sandeep Singh, and Principal Ma'am, Ms. Poonamji Kaur, who are always there to guide and support us, visionary leaders with compassionate heart. Then we have Academic Head, Ms. Sarika Sharma as the head of the junior wing, and her support and guidance and love is always there for the staff, for the children. So I welcome you all, ma'am, and thanks for being there with us. So talking about the vision of the school. So as you all know, the vision of the school is to provide holistic development for our students, and this is what we aim at. So all our activities, all our curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular, so the approach is to provide opportunities to the students for an all-round development. Then the motto says, confident, competent, caring. So that is what we want our students to be. So that they are confident citizens who have a compassionate heart. They are caring at heart, and however they should also have a confident mind. So they should be able to compete wherever they go. So they say that future belongs to those who will acquire skills, and with creativity they are going to apply those skills in the real world. They need to adapt with change. Times are changing very fast. So as class 5 children, I can well imagine this is the senior most class of the primary wing. So a lot is going to be put on there, and we want them to excel in all the fields so that they are confident, competent and caring, as our motto says. So following this vision, having this motto in mind, the curriculum of the primary years has been designed in such a way so that we provide enough challenging learning experiences to our children. So not just literacy, numeracy, but also IT skills, then art, music, dance, sports, all embedded in a balanced way in the curriculum so that the children, they are able to expand their intellectual capacity. We all don't know what we can achieve unless we are exposed to. So the motive is to expose our children, to provide that exposure to the children so that they realize their potential. So as I just said, we work towards the holistic development of our students. So that is an all-round development, be it language skills, language development. So this is because we want them to be effective communicators. We want them to comprehend and express well in a particular language. So that is why I'm talking about language development here. Further, not just language. Also, we want our children to be thinkers. They should not be just followers. They should take their own decisions. So cognitive development comes in there. Choosing what is right, making wise choices. Then we have physical development, a very important aspect. As you all know, we have also COVID and the immunity levels of the children, have gone down considerably. So for this year, we were a little lighter. We didn't want to expose them too much after COVID because all of us were indoors for a long time. However, from this year, we have just left COVID behind and physical development. So here we are also introducing swimming from this session for classes 3 to 5. So other than the sports activities, enrichment activities, swimming is going to be, of course, your favorite. Yes? So further, value building, very important aspect of teaching here. So पढ़ाने को तो Google भी पढ़ा लेगा, but why does a teacher is indispensable? Because values is what a person brings in. So value building is embedded in the curriculum very thoughtfully. Then we also talk about, I'd like to talk about social emotional development. Again, being isolated in front of the screens, we have spent 2 years, which has actually hampered social emotional development of all individuals. So now, when we are back in the classes, we also plan lessons and activities so that children make those connections. They are able to work on this intrapersonal skills. They are managing their emotions well. They are connecting with people around, and that is what this aims at. So overall, we have a holistic approach, and that is what we work on. So again, a gist of all the areas that we focus on. Communication skills, very important. You might have a lot here, but if you're not able to communicate, you're not able to talk about it, it is not relevant. Then collaborative skills, so that you're able to collaborate with people. This is an age, an era where we need to learn a lot from others. So that is where collaboration comes in. Critical thinking skills. So again, analysis, again, problem solving, decision making. So why I'm doing this, what is right for me, all these skills are of course a part of our lessons. When we prepare our lessons, we keep all this in mind. Then creativity. Again, as I just said, that skills, of course, with it. How and where are you going to apply it, and what proportion, and how you're going to use it. That is where creativity comes in. Further, we have, of course, IT skills that we work on. Developing scientific temper, very important. We can't just tell our children to be rote learners like we used to do. When we were children, we were told, this is right, you learn it, mark it up, vomit it out in the exams, and that's it. So this is the age when children stand up and ask questions. They say, we don't agree with you, and that is what we want them to reason out why they are doing something. They need to know. So scientific temper, IT skills, as I mentioned. So we have practical IT lessons wherein children get to practice a lot in the IT. Then of course intrapersonal skills, as I just mentioned, and values and habits. Last but not the least, these are the core of all the academic that we plan. So instructional model in the primary years. That is how we put in practice what I'm just telling you how do we actually bring them in the class. That is, we follow this model, we engage our children meaningfully. So lessons, you won't believe that from the 18th till now, 18th was the last PTM, and 10 days teachers have been just preparing their lessons, being trained, attending training so that they learn what they missed, what can be better, reflecting on what they did. So they think about their lessons very thoughtfully so that they are engaging and the children get a chance to explore beyond the books. Then explain and elaborate, that is where writing answers come in. We also expect them to explain what they have learned, elaborate, and then evaluation is the last point where assessments are there. But again, it's a cycle where the teacher reflects that after assessment, what my child has not been able to do, do I need to teach it differently, do I need to teach it differently? So this kind of thought goes in as far as planning of the lessons is concerned. Next slide, ma'am. So methodologies that we follow, of course, recitations, competitions, field trips. Now we have field trips also. We've been having virtual trips in classes. However, we want our children to go out also now. Safer. Debates, declamations, games, puzzles, a lot of inter-house activities and competitions, role plays, then interviews, hands-on activities, experiential learning is what we are aiming at, and a lot of integration of different subjects to make learning more effective, and of course dance, music, as well as assemblies and celebrations. An important, I would say, aspect of teaching learning is when they connect with their peer to celebrate, and assemblies that you must have been aware of, class assemblies we have, special assemblies we have. I will show you, share a few. So swimming activity we put in the slide here to show that we are starting with this also this year other than what I just mentioned. So this is going to be in the summertime till August we'll have swimming activity and we'll send the details, share the details with you. So now having said so much, that is how we plan. We just share a glimpse of the past session 2022-23 with you. So morning assemblies. This is a platform wherein we aim at developing self-confidence of each child. So a class assembly means all children are involved and every child gets a chance to come on the stage. And of course, it's a very good, beautiful platform to acquire knowledge and build a connect. So as you can see, this is class 4 assembly progress. And so of course with assemblies comes discipline. So everyone has to be, walk in a line, follow the rules, be there for, say the prayer in the morning. So all that is explicated through assemblies and creativity. So children are excited to see their pictures. So this is a special assembly. Of course, we celebrate special days in the class assembly. So this is one glimpse of that. So all festivals are also celebrated. So class activities that we conduct, of course, the aim is that we make learning effective, but also fun factor is also kept in mind so that it's not monotonous for children to sit for long hours in the class. So this was an activity around math, and children of class 3, they put up a market where they brought in stuff, they kind of tagged the objects with the price tags, and then they also learned about different payment systems. So it was not just addition and subtraction. So we bring in, as I just said, that there is integration of so many subjects there, so be it language, and we were as customers bargaining with them. So they were like, we were coming to a consensus. So that all these skills are required, so all these were part of the lesson. So this is a kite flying activity, as you can see. Class 5, last year's class 5. Then we have, of course, a number of art activities. So this is one example, lantern making activity. And this is French cuisine. So you can see, this is class 4, this is class 5. Art, of course, we have a number of art activities happening, and children are, of course, very happy sharing their creations. Then digital skills. So this is just a sample of what children create in their IT classes. They get to use different features, different softwares, and they've created such beautiful posters. So we have team building activities. So I'll just share here, and in the timetable, as you all are aware, we have house activities, we have enrichment activities from this year, then we have class assemblies and PA planned for the zero year. So we have team building activities during the house hours. So this is a glimpse of a puppet show that was conducted by the teachers just before the final exams, so that they are not stressed. So there were tips how to kind of remain stress free. So we also had inter-house and inter-school competitions last year. So here you can see this is inter-house singing competition in progress. Then inter-house declamation competition. Further, winners of inter-school dance competition, they are here in the picture. We also conduct workshops on different subjects that are required, that are the need of the hour. So this is one such workshop, good touch, bad touch, which is going on. We also had a workshop, self-defense workshop, and this is also with classes 4 and 5 we had last year. So we keep planning such workshops to rise our children with different subjects. So celebrations, as I just mentioned, celebrations are very important. They help in building a connect, also be connected to your culture. And of course, we celebrate all the festivals together in school. So this is Janmashtami, so all religious or otherwise we have special days. So Diwali celebrations, then we have Guru Purab celebrations, Christmas celebrations. So these are just a few examples. And as you all know, we had class shows last year, and each child was on stage, got an opportunity to showcase his or her talent. So class 5 had Punjabi Virsa. So wherein not just they performed, they also worked on the nuances of Punjabi language when they were singing. So there was a deep thought into that, so that they learn a lot about the Punjabi culture. So when this theme was chosen, and for grade 4 we had Around the World. So this Lord, I think, is aware of Around the World. So we have a few pictures. Then for grade 3 we had Joy of Giving. This was around Christmas time. And the best part is that the scripts were in-house, the preparation was done, the thought went, the creative team created the script, keeping in mind again the values. So all these shows were in-house production, and they came out beautifully. Sports Day we had it in the month of February this year, and of course children got a chance to showcase their endurance, their strength, and they were really happy participating, and of course learning a lot during this time, and of course winning medals and being joyful, as you can see. So now goals for 2023-24. So this is a glimpse of the calendar that is there for the session 2023-24, and this year we have adopted United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, and they are the core of this calendar. It's been long that we talk about saving the planet, save Earth, right? So this is next step to that, because as we know, SDGs, so we wanted the parents also to know about these, and of course the children should know about this. So that is why we pick these, so that in the calendar we plan activities around protecting the planet. So to know more about these goals, we'll just show you a small video clip.
Did you know that the UN Sustainable Development Goals are a universal call to action that unites 193 countries around the world? If these global goals are fulfilled by 2030, life on Earth will be better for everyone. So, what are these goals? Eliminate poverty in all its forms. No hunger. Everyone should have safe, nutritious, and sufficient food. Everyone has equal access to healthcare, thus ensuring our well-being and healthy life. Equal access to a quality education. Ensure gender equality where women and girls have the same opportunities as men and boys. By achieving these goals, each member of our society will be equal, safe, and happy. UN global goals also include access to safe drinking water and sanitation, access to clean energy that is safe for people and the environment, sustainable and stable economic growth. Everyone has a decent job, strong infrastructure, and the support of innovations. Lower inequality within and among countries. Cities and settlements be developed without damaging the environment and people. Achieving these goals will result in the well-being of people and our planet. We can further take care of our environment with the following goals: sustainable and safe production and consumption of products. Take urgent measures to reduce climate change and its impact. Ensure the sustainable use and protection of ocean and sea resources. Restore and protect Earth's ecosystems. By achieving these goals, we will form a society where strong institutions ensure peace and justice. It is important for everyone to be involved to build partnerships for achieving sustainable development goals. You are part of this process. Demand the implementation of these goals. Take the lead and share information with your friends.
So what we are doing is just getting to know what these goals are and what they aim to achieve is a very idealistic situation. However, we should at least take one step at a time and work towards these. So that is why we chosen these goals this year. So this is an e-calendar. So an example is there in front of you. So e-calendar is available on the school website, where you will get to know the SDG. If you see at the top right corner, it's written SDG of the month. That is the goal that is picked up for this month. And then holidays are mentioned and special days like exams begin or whatever. Everything is mentioned in the calendar. And the activities to be conducted for this, for the band, like for 3 to 5 it's mentioned, for upper KG to 2, so it's mentioned in the calendar. So you can download the calendar from the website. And website also has all the circulars, the newsletters, all the information that you need. It's up there, so kindly keep visiting the website. So this is an exhaustive list of all the enrichment activities. It was shared with you and you picked up. I'm sure children have picked up the activities they want to be a part of. So these activities will be conducted on Wednesdays and Thursdays in the zero period, as I mentioned. So of course we are working in developing so many skills and so many different sports activities also have been made a part of this. So now talking about assessments, parents, you're I think very well aware that we have continuous assessments throughout the year. So however there is a small change this year. We have a round of one periodic assessment before the half yearly and the final exams respectively. So that means we have PA1 before the half yearlies and PA2 before the final exams. So as you know, as I'm saying that we have continuous assessments, so the assessments continue in class, be it class discussions, be it quizzes, be it homework assignments, a project work the teacher has given, be it maintenance of their notebooks, their files. So all that is included in the internal assessment. And in the next slide you will see how everything is put together for the report card. Right? So everything has a weightage. So and everything is equally important for the child to score good grade. So PA, subject enrichment, multiple assessment, notebook, all these sum up to 20 marks, and then we have 60 marks half yearly and final exams, which then are rounded off to 80, and then total is 100. Right? So as now we have one round of PA, so it's a request to parents. So please would not allow your children to take an off on that day unless it's an emergency, because no retest will be scheduled, that would be possible. So the children should come for the PAs. Then we have remedial classes also planned for the children who require extra help or who require supervision in a particular subject. So these classes begin from the month of July and these are conducted on Saturdays. So we expect parents' cooperation. If your ward really requires help and the teacher is making the effort of conducting a class, do send your children. So this is a list of committees that are functional in school. So as per CBSE norms, we are a CBSE school, we follow all the norms and we have a long list of committees. So we are making a timetable or examination committee for conducting of the exam, then advocacy committee, child abuse prevention committee. So children's safety is of utmost importance and we have different heads in the school who are the heads in different areas as in charges of these committees so that every area is looked at properly. So we have safety and security committee, inclusion committee. Inclusion committee aims at including all the children with special needs in the mainstream. So we have anti-bullying committee. Bullying is absolutely not allowed in school. Children, you should know this. Calling names or troubling your classmate, all that comes under bullying and we don't. That's not accepted. Zero tolerance to bullying. Then we have, of course, keeping in safety of the children in mind, arrival and dispersal and safe parking committee also. So all the compliances of the CBSE are adhered to. So as we begin a fresh new session, so we have some guidelines for the parents for smooth sailing in this session. So I'll request Sarita ma'am to take you through these. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I think so by now you're quite ripened enough because you know the processes are here. Yes, children? So more than the parents, I think I get an acknowledgement from the students that yes, they are very much aware of how we are supposed to come, how we are supposed to conduct ourselves in school, what assessments and everything. So that's very heartening for me. School timings remain the same, so that's great. But there's one change. So when I'm standing here today, I'll not tell you what's routine, I'll quickly tell you what's the change. So the change is that the school timings are 8 o'clock and we expect you to be in school at 9 o'clock. 8:05, that's the last. So you should be within school by say 7:55. So that you can reach your classes. 8 o'clock we start the attendance in the class. So by 8:05 we are over with our attendance and 8:05 the school gates will be closed from this year. We've been very kind because our children were in the process of getting used to coming to school. But 1 year has been great learning. So we need to endorse punctuality. So 8:05 we'll close the school gates and the parents have to ensure that the children are well in time. Also, do not practice to leave your child before 7:50 because the teachers are in the school by 7 and before that we would not entertain students in the school. So that's one change, children. You need to wake up and be in school right on time. Another thing we were very giving was the school uniform. If you've gone through some of the slides when we were outside, and if you remember, I've always been telling that uniform is something we must respect and we must honor that we are wearing a proper uniform. So from this year, we shall help you to come to school because we will be maintaining a kind of record which will go to say that these are the students who are coming in their proper uniform, so they are giving due respect to the school uniform. So there is a slight change in the t-shirt material maybe because your feedback said that the material was not too good. So once again, we put that also, and we look forward to once again your feedback regarding to how is the updates. And so the logo is already embroidered on your t-shirts. You will have black shoes instead of two different shoes. So this time we'll have black sports shoes instead of wearing your sports shoes and your formal, those leather shoes. So there will be one pair of shoes, that's your black sports shoes. It will suffice for both your activities in the ground and also give you a formal outlook. So there's one more change. I don't want my children to be staying away from school when the school is working. So minimum of leave should be availed and avoid taking half-day leave. From this year, we are going to mark the children for both the halves. The attendance will be marked. So if the child is absent in the second half, he is going to miss out on his attendance. So children, you must see that even half day is going to be a very important part of your attendance. So if you are half day absent, means you are marked only present for the half day. So for example, you take 15 half days out of 30 days. So your attendance will be 15, so 30 days, half days, 15 days only. So you will be losing out on your half days. So do not take half days just because of any small reason. And definitely not after a PA. Because that was a trend that we saw, children gave the PA. And for some or the other pretext, after the PA, immediately the child was made to put a request that, I am leaving. So that will not be entertained. The child needs to remain in the school, even if it's important to take the child in the second half. So the first half has to be attended in the school. So this is one more change that you must encourage, and we seek your cooperation. So the uniform, you are already aware. I mentioned the change, and of course you all have your houses, so you will be wearing your track pants and your house t-shirts on Fridays. Next ma'am. We have been communicating quite often. Just to reiterate, so if you have something to inform your teacher in the class, write a note in the school almanac. If you have something that needs official changes, you must put it on through the mail so that it reaches us and it's seen that whatever is your query or your issue, it is resolved. And all mails are actually, they go through the eyes of principal ma'am, and that's how we ensure that every mail that is sent regarding any query or request is addressed 100%. So the school pad is a two-way communication pathway where we are sending you circulars, we are sharing information that needs to be sent to you for any sort of preparation or help for the student. This is also the home assignments that the students receive in the form of worksheets are also uploaded. We have been helping and guiding students also through the revision worksheets where we were sending them the answer keys also. So this is a very vital platform through which we are communicating with you. Next ma'am. From this year there is a slight change because the mobile phones of the educators have been pulled out from the classrooms. So any message that you drop to the teacher will not be received during the school hours. So any sort of information that needs to reach us must come to the reception itself. If you have to address something, you may make a request to speak on you can take the call like the coordinator or myself. We can talk to you on the phone. So maybe that can be addressed, but the class teachers will not be able to read your messages. So it will be of no help if you are kind of communicating them during the day. The almanac, the personal information columns, the 2 pages. They say a lot about your personal details, and it needs to be shared because that gives us the right information, and whenever it is required, it can be used suitably. For example, if there's an emergency, we need to contact the parents. So kindly keep at least one mobile phone that you shared with us or any contact number always available, so that there have been times when we are contacting both the parents but they do not answer the call, and that is how we are in a fix. So at least one mobile phone should be active when your child is in school. You've been receiving monthly notes, and that's a very good practice. I feel that on the first day of the month you receive the entire information of the curriculum, the events, the celebrations that will take place during the month. So it gives you a preview of what your child needs to kind of prepare, or what the child will be going through in school. You have already endured 4 PTMs. So I think you are aware of the process, and every time we have a PTM, we seek your precious feedback through the Google Forms. Maybe it may not sound very comfortable and easy at your end, but believe me that this information that you send us through these Google Forms are very, very important, because as a practice we collate these feedback, a data bank is created, and that is how we strategize towards framing certain changes in the policies. So do not take them that they are just kind of information that you are sending us. It's an important piece of information that goes a long way in making the school work better. Any kind of meetings with the class teacher or with any other subject teacher related to any query or doubt can only be done on Saturdays, and that also preferably through a prior appointment, so that we know that our teacher is not engaged in something else. If you want to meet the coordinator, of course, if it can be answered or addressed, you can make a call at the reception and they'll connect. But if you need to discuss something, then priorly you may take an appointment. And of course, without saying, Principal Ma'am here has been very kind and courteous that she allows anyone and everyone to come, and she has opened to a policy where you can just come and visit her, so that any problem that you face is sorted out by her. So that's very kind of ma'am. Birthdays are very special for all of us, but in school they need to be celebrated with their own sort of fervor, and that is in all simplicity. So the children will only get 2 candies to share with their classmates. You will not get any sort of gifts or fancy items to share with your friends. So happiness is just by sharing and not by the amount that you share. So just 2 candies on your birthdays, and you can have a big birthday bash in the evening. Will that be okay? So another thing I think you already know, that on birthdays, like the small children, you are big, you are the senior most class, so you are not allowed to come in your casuals on your birthdays, because we don't want to make you feel different, because out of place. So you will be coming in your school uniforms, but we will make you feel special, because that's your birthday. We are going to sing your birthday in the assembly also. Do we do that? Yes. So we sing birthdays of the week when we have an assembly, and of course in the class this practice is done, so the child feels very, very special. Any sort of fancy watches, jewelry, the students, of course, you must take care. You should not carry and wear all these things to school, because we are in a school uniform and we need to respect that all these things are a part of your casual wear, which should be avoided in school. Avoid sending medicines without sending information to the class teacher, because the child may take the medicine and whatever side effects the teacher may not be aware of. So in case, only if it's an emergency, send some medication that is also with a written note which specifies exactly that you have given the consent to monitor that. Next one. So this is a very wonderful thought that I think goes for all of us, that if it came from a plant, eat it, but if it is made in a plant, don't. So this is a riddle. Can any one of the students tell me what it means?
It means that whatever, if like, for example, the carrot is there, carrot gives us good eyesight, that's why we eat it. But for example, which is made in a plant,
What
like
is a
chips
plant?
are made in a plant.
Oh wow.
Like we use to
Beautiful, wonderful. So this was just a little idea I wanted you parents to know, that this is how the teaching goes on in the class. It's the child who's made to think, and so very beautifully you put it. So I think when you know that we have to eat healthy, you will bring healthy. So once in a while, you can have the liberty of getting your party tiffins. We do encourage that when you have a celebration. So that time you can just share something. So one more good news for all the mothers and the children. We are going to have a school cafeteria and the coupons will be shared with you all. So whenever you feel that you want to have something, you can just get a coupon from home, and we'll ensure that you have whatever your parent has allowed you to have it along with your friends in the break time. So students have to wear their iCards all the time. Very important, because that gives us the complete information, and that tells us your contact numbers, your bus, your address, everything. Of course, you are big enough to tell all the information to us, but still it's required that it is with you. And the parents who come to collect their children, they also kind of endorse with their iCard, stating that the class teacher comes to know that my ward is in the right hands. Now one more thing, even the children are sitting here, so I would address it to both. Children, you need to understand that although we have mobiles, we have internet, but we should also understand and know how to use it. Anything that goes in excess is always bad. So whenever you start to play any game, whenever you surf anything, it must be done under the vigilance of your parents. Do not try, do not give acceptance to any sites which are taking you to some other sites. So sometimes they can be, oh, let's take your wonderful picture or something of that sort, which you may feel is very interesting, very nice, but do not do it unless your parent is sitting with you and they say it's okay. The internet can be the most dangerous.
Actually, my parents have given me an account which has logged every type of thing which is not good for you.
Wonderful.
And they can access my
Very good. So before, like as children, I think you all are sensible. You should understand that why give parents an opportunity to lock something? You know, we should have that much of faith that our parents are going to guide us right, our teachers will guide us right. So whenever you have to search something, whenever you have to venture a new game or certain things, you must take the permission of your parents. And parents, you should always support them and never say, abhi nahi, baad mein. So there I am with my kids, that please give them ample time and monitor whatever surfing they are doing, because this is that age where it's most required. So your children need your presence more than your presence. So if you're with your children, that's the biggest present that you can give them. And of course, they emulate whatever they see. So whatever you are is actually seeping drop by drop into your children. That is why in school we try that we have teachers who play a little role model, but then we cannot be double, standards that I do something but I expect something. So here we all will come together and try to be the best role models for our children. I think some of you must have already served the YouTube channels. So you are aware that whatever events, celebrations we have in school, they are all uploaded and you can visit them and have the opportunity to see what's happening across the school. Kindly like, share and follow our social media pages. So wherever you find that it's your school, we ask you, so you must validate, because we are studying, we are fortunate that we are in a good place, but we need to reach out to others to give them a message that this place is good. So sometimes our endorsements are good for others to read that how is this place. So whenever possible on the Facebook and the Instagram, if you endorse, I think it goes a long way in helping out other people. So we look forward to your cooperation, support in not just in all our ventures, but also in helping our children to become the better versions of themselves, because together only we can make the difference. And I'm quite confident that my children by now, they know exactly how to address their academic year, but with your support, they can be the best. So looking forward to a very fruitful and great learning year. I introduce you to my team which is going to take you children ahead in grade 5. The class teacher for 5A, I have Ms. Archana. 5B, Ms. Gurleen. And 5C, Ms. Sonia. Punjabi educator, Ms. Supinder. And our IT expert for this group, Ms. Apeksha. You are already quite familiar with the activity teachers. They are all engaged with the induction program that's going on for grades UKG and 1. We already have the little ones on our campus, so they are helping them out. So this is the wonderful team, and these are your class teachers. Welcome them. I think they need a big applause because they are the ones who made this previous year so comfortable for you all. And of course, the cherry on the cake. So I introduce the coordinator, Ms. Payal Bedi. I think by now she's quite familiar to you. So she's going to be there helping you out, freeze out your problems, and also help you to strive towards perfection. Thank you. Now I request our worthy principal, who's been always so supportive, guiding us, and I think she truly, kind of is a blend of what we say confident, competent and caring. So that caring word I would say with a big underline. So ma'am, please address the parents.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for taking out the time and being here. And thank you, ma'am. So I don't know about confident, I don't know about competent, but I definitely want to be caring. that is very, very important in this day and age. And I think that is what our motto is, and that is what we are trying to ensure that our children are, because that is what a parent needs. So I think we've had a very exhaustive and detailed orientation, and there are lots of things which are coming back that we were doing. So I'm sure that the children, remember the pool. Who are the ones who've been to the pool before when they were younger? Great. Yes. So you all are waiting for it, and as you can see, we are also kind of renovating it. And of course, we have our enrichment activities, because if the children are here with us for a long time, we want that all their development happens. Be it curricular, be it co-curricular, be it extracurricular, right? So we are looking at all the subjects, the concepts that are going to be taught. We are looking at the art, craft, music, dance, sports as co-curricular, and even the extracurricular. We're looking at the assemblies, the competitions, the Friday activities, the Wednesday, Thursday enrichment activities, the inter-house, inter-school, intra-school. Everything is going to be covered in the extracurricular activities for the children. So it's going to be a very, very jam-packed session, and I am sure that the children are very, very excited. And of course, we have another very unique feature when the children come into class 5, and that's they join the student council. So we are also going to be looking at the leadership skills, developing the children's leadership skills this year. Of course, they've been working throughout. So when a child is selected to do something out of the whole group, so we are appreciating or promoting a skill, a leadership skill, collaboration, cooperation, and now they will be part of the student council. So there will be a head boy, junior wing, there will be a head girl, and there is a beautiful process for that. And of course, that all ties into the overall development of the child's personality. So I'm sure that you all are as excited as the children are. And of course, as we noticed that the Green Cafe is a big yes for the students and the mothers, I think. And of course, the enrichment activities will be a big boost. So you do not have to take the children in the evening for another activity. Whatever the children like, they have selected that in the morning. So that's what the zero period is all about. And of course, most probably by the end of May or July, we will again start with our evening activities, depending on the weather and the circumstances, wherein the children can come and engage in the evening activities along with the neighborhood children. So the school is open to that also, and most probably we will start that sometime in July. So thank you children, and thank you parents for being with us here. If there is anything that you would like to discuss, ask. We can have an open session. If you would like to meet me later, that's perfectly fine. And my only suggestion is that whenever you have any issue or problem, please connect immediately to the class teacher, to the coordinator, to the head, or to me. Do not wait for any little thing to become a large issue. And like ma'am said, we don't expect the teachers to be looking at their phones. So please do not send any messages or do not call them on the phone, because they will not have the phones with them. And they finish off their day at 3 o'clock, at which time they would like to go back home and they're driving, right? So the first that they might look at their phone is maybe late in the evening, and the whole idea is if you have an emergency or you need to connect, please connect with the school. The numbers are there in the school almanac, in the everywhere on the calendar also, and we keep sharing them. So whenever you need any support, please call the reception, send us a mail, or send a note in the school almanac. So if there's something that you have noticed while you're sitting with the child in the evening, write a little note. It's very personalized. That's what the school almanac is. It's the first line of communication, right? And if if by chance the query cannot be resolved by the class teacher, she will take it to the coordinator. So everybody will get involved, and that is very, very important. Second is, I think, since the children are growing up and we have so much of physical activity, we need to, reassure you that we have a very, very efficient nurse in the school who is always there to look after the children. However, as you know that we do not administer any kind of medication. So we do need to get in touch with you. So in case the child has very high fever and for some reason you cannot pick up the child, and we do have to give the child some medication, we need your written permission. We do not give any medication to any child without the parents' written permission. So for that we will need to connect with you. So please stay connected with the school because the children's safety is very, very important. And of course, I'm sure that we'll have a very, very good, safe, productive year ahead. And congratulations to the staff and coordinator and head of the junior wing. I think it's been a wonderful, wonderful year, and we are looking forward to the new year. And congratulations, parents and all the students. Some of whom are looking bored, some of whom are looking very, very, excited. So when you come to school, it's going to be a very exciting day. So I know that it's very boring to sit through a presentation or sit and listening to adults, but the session will be amazing. That I can promise you. Thank you, parents. Thank you, everyone.